Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daniel Salla Show, live from the Daniel Salla Studios, I guess, in the middle of nowhere in a central Illinois town. And it's been a while. I haven't put anything out like this. Probably, my last on-air shift on the radio was at the end of the school year, so May, and I just figured, I wanted to put something out because, it's been a month and I just really have missed being able to. I know this isn't technically on the air, but it's a form of broadcasting where I can, talk about whatever I want to talk about, and I can put it out there to you guys and have you guys listen, and maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but it gives me something to do, and it keeps my broadcasting skills sharp. And I just missed it a lot, Like I've said before on many broadcasts I've done, going to Lincoln College was a really just a blessing because before I went there, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. I had went to Springfield, Illinois, U of I, and I thought I wanted to be a psychiatrist when I started doing the schoolwork, and I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. So I quit that, and I found Lincoln, and I realized, I think I have a knack for really just talking and telling stories, and I figured, if I could find something where I could get paid to do that, that would be the perfect career. So I found Lincoln, and literally the first week I was there, they put me on the air on the radio, and I haven't looked back. And it's been such a ride. It's been so much fun, and I've enjoyed it so much. And like I said, yeah, it's just been a month since I've really done anything like this, and I just wanted to put something out there. As far as what I've been up to in this month, after school got out, I filmed graduation with Bud and everyone at the TV studio. There was about 4 or 5 of us who shot graduation, and that was a lot of fun, and I had a good time doing that, because, I do radio, but I also work at the TV studio, and I enjoy both. Radio is definitely my thing. It's definitely what I want to do with my life, but it's nice to be able to have a skill of, knowing what to do in a TV studio, knowing how to work a camera, all that good stuff. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. But other than that, I've been working, just trying to stay busy. I realize now, I've realized for a while that I've been out of shape, but, looking at myself in the mirror lately, I was like, you know what, maybe it's time to start doing something about that. So I've been working out, I lift, bro, stuff like that. And it's a work in progress, but I'm getting there. And it's a little late to have that summer body, but hopefully by the fall, I don't know, we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. My thing's eating healthy, man. I have such a hard time eating healthy. I drink soda, and it's caffeine. It has to be the caffeine, the addiction, because it's I just have a hard time giving it up. But man, just been working out, yeah, just kind of been relaxing. But like I said, I missed doing this. I missed talking to you guys. I know it's not face to face, but it's in your ears. It's audio. It's out there, and I just missed it. And I'm hoping to put this out weekly, so you guys have something from me weekly. And like I said, it keeps me on my toes. It keeps my broadcasting skills sharp. So we're gonna get right into it. Last Friday, I believe, the Deadwood movie was actually released, and this was a show on HBO that aired originally from, I believe, 2004 to 2006. It only had 3 seasons, but it was such a great show. It was obviously based on the Deadwood territory in South Dakota, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But but yeah, it was the Deadwood Territory in the 1800s, and the cast on this show was amazing. You know, you had Timothy Olyphant from Justified, Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix. And you have Ian McShane, who's just a legend on stage, film, just a great guy. Brad Dourif from the Child's Play movies, who voiced Chucky, which when I saw him first in this TV show, it surprised me. You know, I recognized the voice instantly. And watching the show, it was just his acting is so great. Like, then you look into his, you know, filmography, and it's like he played in Lord of the Rings. He was, you know, the goon for, I believe it was the king of Gondor, I believe, when he was possessed by Saruman. And, but anyway, yeah, this show is just so great. It was really ahead of its time, and if you get a chance, definitely check it out. It's like it's a western, and it's pretty vulgar. It was HBO, so if you have like a weak tolerance for cussing and some skin showing, then you might not like this show. But if you don't have a problem with any of that, I think you'll definitely like it, because I had caught it later. I found, you know, I saw the box set at Walmart a few years ago, and I remember my grandpa watching it when I was younger, and I was so young, like I wasn't really aware, I wasn't really paying attention, but you know, I picked it up at Walmart, I watched it all, and I loved it, and I always thought they were just kind of canceled abruptly, you know, it's like they didn't really have a conclusion to their show. So this movie comes out about, like 13 years later, and really, it did a really good job of wrapping everything up, I believe. Like, it did enough to where if they wanted to in the future, they could come back with they could reboot the show, they could, come back. And it left you wanting more, but it also left you satisfied. It kind of just, it wrapped up the whole series very well. And it was definitely the ending that show deserved, because that was such a good show, and it was a shame it got canceled when it did, because I believe it could have went on for another 4 or 5 seasons at least, But I'm glad it finally did get the conclusion it deserved, because it definitely did deserve it, and it was amazing. So definitely, if you have HBO, definitely check that out on their on-demand service, or if you catch it on TV, you can watch it then. You can watch it however you want, I don't care. Just, if you're into that show, I would definitely, and you're looking for a conclusion to that show, I would definitely check it out, because it was so good. And all the actors came back. It was, the only one who didn't come back was the actor who played Cy Tolliver. He had passed away recently, and it's a shame that the movie wasn't made when he was alive, but the movie was still good, and I think he would have liked it a lot. It's just a good thing the movie got made. I'm just glad the movie got made, and I know he would have liked it. So definitely check that out. Moving on, though, we're gonna get into some sports right now. These NBA finals have been wild for like all the wrong reasons, because it's supposed to be about the game, which it is. People are talking about the game, but Drake, the rapper Drake, has been causing some problems for the Golden State Warriors, because Drake is from Toronto, and the Golden State Warriors are facing the Toronto Raptors in the finals. So all these games that they're having in Toronto, Drake's been there. It's been causing problems, and all the NBA analysts are like, oh, well, Drake, he needs to calm down. He needs to settle. He needs to stay in his seat and all this stuff. And it's like, I get you're enthusiastic about your team going to the finals, because the Raptors have never been to the finals. They for the past, at least a couple of years that I know, they were swept before they even got to the finals. And so I understand on that point you're excited about your team going to the finals. It's all well and good. but he's been getting in he's been getting in these guys' faces, and I gotta admit, some of it's funny because I believe Game 2 he came to Toronto wearing Steph Curry's dad's old jersey from when he played in Toronto, and that's kind of clever, that's kind of funny. But when you're getting in Draymond Green's face and telling him he's trash, like, I don't know, like, it's still funny to me, but I don't know. I mean, as far as me, like, he's not pushing the guys. He's not, getting physical with them. So I think it's fine. It's annoying. Like, it's like every time I see Drake now, I just get so annoyed because it's like, dude, just sit down. Like, Jack Nicholson goes to the Lakers games and he just sits down and just chills out, And you ain't no Jack Nicholson, that's for sure. So you just need to sit down and enjoy the game. Another aspect of this whole final series that has kind of gotten crazy is apparently one of the co-owners of the Warriors pushed Kyle Lowry, who is a player for the Raptors. And Kyle Lowry, when he was pushed, he thought it was a fan. And he was upset, and everyone's like, well, it's just a fan, like, it shouldn't have happened, but, it is what it is. Come to find out, it was a co-owner of the Warriors, and now everyone's freaking out. The guy who pushed Kyle Lowry was banned from the NBA for a year and fined $500,000, which, it shouldn't have been done. I guess that's fair, It kind of... It shows the people like the NBA doing this. It shows the people that don't be pushing the players, right? Like, it's but yeah, it's the series is evened up. I believe 1-1, and Game 3 is this Friday, tonight. I guess today's Friday, so I think it's tonight. So we'll see if the Raptors can go up 2-1 or the Warriors go up 2-1. We'll see tonight. I think. The Warriors have won the last 4 or 5, and it'd be cool to see the Raptors win. Drake is kind of making it unbearable to like the Raptors, but I think it'd be cool to see the Raptors win, because I believe, Klay Thompson might be out after this year because he's coming upon free agency, so is KD. KD's been out these whole finals. He got hurt. They're thinking it's an Achilles, and they're saying he might be back tonight, but they're not sure. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to see the Raptors win. I'm not really sure if they will. It's just if they can stay focused, and the Warriors just had bad luck with injuries this whole series, so we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'll be watching. And, but yeah, I had went to this Incubus show, too, here in Peoria, and, at the riverfront. It was a spring fling, and there was about 4 or 5 other bands on that Saturday, and it was a good time, I had a really good time. I got there around 3:30, and they were having the pre-show. I got to see Buck Cherry, and, Josh Todd was up there doing his best Mick Mars, Mick Jagger impression. Freaking Josh Todd. He looks so skinny and like he's covered in tattoos, and he's moving around up there and trying to vibe like he's Mick Jagger, and he wants it so bad, and it's so cringy. But it was cool seeing Buck Cherry. I had seen him before at the Limelight in Peoria, and I wasn't impressed, but they did a pretty good job this time. But come on, Josh Todd, just ease up on the Mick Jagger impression. You're good, but you don't need to try to be one of the Stones. you're good, man. But yeah, there was 3 or 4 other bands before Incubus headlined, and it was a good show. I was standing next to this girl, and I was wearing a Pink Floyd shirt, and she looks at me, and she's like, oh my god, she's like, I have that same shirt, but it's white, and I'm like, oh my god, mine's red. I didn't say that, but it's like chill out, girl. Like, you're getting way too enthusiastic about this Pink Floyd shirt, and but yeah, the show is good. Incubus started playing, and of course that same girl I was standing next to started flirting with the security guard, and the security guard fell for it because he's a more heavy set dude, and this girl was, she was good looking, and so he lets her in with a VIP, bracelet. And the way this show was set up, the VIP people were up front, and there was like a security bear blocking, the rest of us who paid general admission tickets. So we were kind of far back, but we could still see. And but yeah, the security guard let this girl in, and right in front of everyone, and like it was like I wasn't surprised, but I just figured if I had long blonde hair and had boobs, like I could have got into, I'm pretty sure, but it is what it is. I got to see Incubus. It was a great show. I enjoyed it a lot, and I would definitely recommend seeing them if you guys ever get a chance, because yeah, like I said, it was really, really good. Moving on, I'm a huge wrestling fan as well. The wrestling landscape is just kind of blown up since I got out of school. Like, there's been so much that's happened that I could talk about. I'm gonna kind of dip into it a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna go crazy, but this new company, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, has kind of blossomed up. Billionaire Tony Khan's backing them. You got Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and a slew of other friends of theirs who are kind of executives in this company. And it's their first show was really good. Double or Nothing, like their first show as Elite Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling. Dustin Rhodes came over, who was Gold Dust in WWE, and he had a match with Cody Rhodes, which was amazing. Like, the cool thing about All Elite Wrestling is it's TV-14, and that's where they kind of have the edge up on WWE. It too is because WWE is PG, and it's kind of limited on what they can do. So Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes, there was blood, there was psychology. And as a wrestling fan, at least for me, like, I miss that type of stuff, like, WWE has just I think they've become complacent, which, is always a bad thing in any business, but, AEW will do good. They're gonna be on TNT in October, and, I think they'll do amazing. I don't, everyone's saying they'll put WWE out of business, but I don't think they'll do that, but, that's, competition. Any competition is good competition, and I'm looking forward to it. Today, Friday, I actually watched the WWE show Super Showdown, which was really cool. They were in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and it was, it was cool. They've done shows over there before. The main event was Goldberg versus Undertaker, believe it or not, and that was the only match I was really kind of disappointed in, because both guys showed their age, and it was really apparent that Goldberg had no idea what he was doing, and Taker is just so old, like, he has no business being in there, because Goldberg went into the post, busted himself open, and it was just a car wreck from there. But there are matches on the card that are really, really good. I mean, Triple H versus Randy Orton, at any time will always deliver, and today was no exception. It was an amazing match, had psychology, had hard-hitting action. There was no flips, there was no, let's try to outdo each other with crazy moves. It was really good. Randy Orton came out on top. Seth Rollins beat Baron Corbin, and curb stomp Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came out trying to cash in his Money in the Bank, and Seth was like, ain't no way you doing that, boy, and curb stomped him, and walked out with the Universal Championship. Kofi Kingston beat Dolph Ziggler for the WWE title. He retained his title. So all in all, it was a pretty good show. WWE just needs to, I think they just need to pay attention to their fan base more. Like, they need to pay attention to what people want, and not on what they think they want, because AEW will not put them out of business straight ahead. It's gonna take time if they even do. But WWE needs to be careful. I'm always gonna be a WWE fan, but it's kind of been lackluster lately, and it's no one's fault but their own, really. They know what they need to do to fix it, so I'm pulling for them, but we'll just have to see. And yeah, but like I said, I'm a huge music fan. For anyone who doesn't know, I love music, all kinds of music. And there's this band called Guided by Voices, who is really a lo-fi like rock band, who is really prolific. They come out with like album after album after album. And a cool thing they're doing right now, coming up actually, is they're going to be doing a New Year's Eve show in Los Angeles at the Tarragon Ballroom. They're going to play 100 songs, which I don't know if that's ever been done, but it's something really cool. I might have to go check that out, because like I said, I love Guided by Voices. If you're into like lo-fi experimental rock music, I would definitely check them out. I've heard all their shows. Anyone who's seen them live has always said they do amazing stuff. It's a great show, and I do believe this is like a once-in-a-lifetime show, and I might have to make the trip out to Los Angeles. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to check on tickets. It might even be sold out by now, but man, I might have to check my checkbook and see what I can do, because I think that would be such a good show. But yeah, if you guys are into like I said, lo-fi experimental rock music, definitely check them out. The singer's name's Robert Pollard. He actually has a book out right now that I actually have. I cannot find it right now. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I don't know where it's at, but it's there. Trust me. And it's like an autobiography. It's really good. Definitely check that out if you're into them or want to get into them. It's got their whole history and his history, and it's just a really good read. So definitely check that out. But like I said, guys, I have missed talking to you. I've missed putting out material. I've missed broadcasting out, and I want to do this weekly. I want to be able to talk about what's on my mind. I want to hear suggestions from you guys. I have a lot of good ideas for this. I want to start, having interviews on here. I want to get a hold of people and talk to them and put that out in, conjunction with this podcast. I also want to look into doing videos, like setting up cameras and getting on YouTube. This will be on many platforms. I'm going to do a YouTube channel and Facebook and all that stuff, and I wanted to get I want to eventually get to where I can set up like an actual studio and have videos like you see Joe Rogan and all the podcasts on YouTube. I want to do something like that. I want to look professional. I want to do anything I do, I want to do really good. Like, this is why I'm doing this, is to put the work in, practice, and really hone my craft. And if you guys will come along with me on this ride, I would love to have you and see what we can do together. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you guys next week, and you guys have a great weekend and a great week, and I